Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Conscious Conversations. I am here with Tyler Erickson today, our special guest, jumping in to share his story and everything that he has built and done throughout the last, 7, 8 years you've been in business, maybe longer?
7, 8 years in this specific type of business, but yeah, been running businesses of my own since I think my first one when I was about 9, but,
Oh,
entrepreneurship's definitely in my blood.
isn't it?
It's really great to be here and just hearing before we jumped on and press the official play, what Hayley has in store for you guys and the work she's doing here about, getting to the deeper things. I'm really excited and lots of gratitude for having me on. Hopefully, I can add some value.
You will absolutely add value. I love everything that you're doing and who you are. So I'm excited for you to share that with the listeners and yeah, shine a light on the work, I guess. So yeah, tell us about 9 years old and starting a business. Did you really start that young?
Yeah, and I was I'm thinking about the time I was probably younger, but I grew up on a farm, 25 acres, small hobby farm about 15 kilometres out of Dubbo in central New South Wales. And my dad ran a small business, and my mum worked as a nurse, and typical Aussie Australian family. And we had pretty solid upbringing, but because dad had his own business, we always had this conversation around he's like talking to us about the ways to earn money. And I think that just sparked something in me, whether it was in my genetics or whether I was just observing it. But he was always like collecting copper and brass off building sites and the site. Every time he'd see a bit of copper, he'd stick it in these drums and he'd throw it in there, and then that would pay for our camping holidays. And be like, well, you don't have to, because you don't have to pay for everything with the work that you do. Sometimes you can just find it on the side of the road. And if he
Mm.
saw something was getting tossed out, he'd fix it up and he'd sell it. And it's the same with cars, and he'd really look after things. But he also had this method of he's like, you need to be able to, because he was also a little bit lazy. I was speaking with my brother about this recently. He's like, you just really didn't like working. um,
That's not lazy though. That's smart.
not right. But he could work really hard right up until he was, 65, getting up to 70. He could, and I can also work physically hard as well. He'd work along beside me, like, and not even break a sweat. But he had this method. He's like, you need to earn as much as you can in a 1 hour period. And I don't like recommend this for everybody. It's only for some people. So you can have more time to go fishing, play golf, and watch the TV. Like
Smart.
that was his philosophy on life. So my brother, so I had 3 jobs. I had a couple of jobs when I was younger, but my brother got a job at the pet shop, and I'd go in and do a couple of hours, and you'd get, I think it was $3 an hour or something like that. And for some reason, I wanted pet mice, which now I think about it is really random.
Yeah.
Like, what is that all about? Anyway, so I started with it, and whether I've got a touch of the tisms or there's something going on, I was like, I needed different breeds of mice then. So I had these Manx mice, and I had different colors, and I had different species, and I'd crossbreed them with each other. And I was like, it was just this thing that I got into, and they breed quite fast. So you can really, get some momentum with your mice breeding program. And I was just really interested in it. And I also like had this deep affection for them, because when you look after mice or any animal or anything on earth, it does, you start to get a sort of a resonance, and whether we humanize them or not. But I had some, and there were names, and there was other ones that were like people really. Some were arseholes and some were great. And some I really resonated with, and they'd have special cages, and the other ones were in the breeding program. And then because we grew up on a farm, I found out that they'd give me $1 a piece for snake food
Yeah, right.
with these mice.
I
So
hope
I
not the ones you're
had
attached to.
no, so they had like, this is quite a complex scenario for a young child to go through. The ones that I was attached to were bred for pets, but then snake breeding mice were the ones that were just jerks, and they'd bite you and everything. So it was fine. I guess I rationalize it now. I was making about $100 a week at a very young age, and I got bookshelves in a back shed that wasn't being used on the farm, and I converted the whole thing into a breeding program, and I had drums, and I'd drop them off to the pet shop to the point where they said, "Look, we don't want any more mice. Like, stop bringing them in."
Well, that is so wild that this is your job as a kid.
This is one of my first careers. I got about 6 months in, and it was like I'm replacing the bookshelves, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the stink is like I don't know, is out of control. And then something clicked in me about the emotional side of things, and then I started to get a little bit too attached to the process, and I couldn't overlook it anymore. I started to get a real depth of empathy, even for the ones that were breeding as livestock. Um, and I wound up that business because it was out of alignment with my values, I guess you could say.
How great that you recognize that at such a young age.
Yeah, I think it was also like it was a clear lesson when we were kids about the distinction between pets and livestock and the reality of that. And a lot of people say that they're all like pets, but if you're eating, I'll go vegan then. If you're eating meat, then you're just paying an assassin to do it for you. So we were taught how to you know slaughter and dress our own animals, and we have chickens, and when they get to a certain age, you'd eat them, and the same with the lambs that grow up and you do that. So but then dad was also like, there's absolutely no reason to be cruel. There's no reason to do anything if it didn't need to be done. If it's unnecessary, don't do it. And then at the start, I was like, they're livestock, but then I guess the realization is like people don't also need to own snakes.
Yeah.
So I wound that one up, and then I started. By then I was getting up to 10 and 11, and I started working like in a hardware store and a restaurant, and didn't go back to business for a little while after that till I
Right.
was 18.
Yeah, I love that your dad taught you that at such a young age as well, that it's not just working hard for the money, like for that hour, but it's you can find other things around you that will also pay you money, like collecting the copper and everything. Like look
Yeah,
at the box.
it's been something that's been like when I went backpacking when I was 26, and I went over with about 75,000, and it was about 2015, and I traveled Europe, and I spent that pretty quickly. Like within 8 months, there was nothing left, and that
Mhm.
was kind of my plan. I was gonna do that, and then I was gonna go, work in bars and restaurants and just do hospitality and for accommodation, food, and some pay. And I did the first job, and then I moved up to Edinburgh for a couple of months, and then I was meant to go to Cornwall, and I got a placement in this job, and I had about £6 to my name, which is about $10.
Yeah.
And I'm overseas, and I'm like, I'm not calling home for money. I'm going to work this out. So I went without food. I like jumped on a train illegally, like didn't pay for the ticket. I got down, and by the time I got through, bought a sandwich from a supermarket and got to Cornwall, where I was supposed to start the job, had 25 pence. It was like 25 or 50 pence in my pocket, and that was it. There was
Mm.
no money in the bank. There was no food. There was nothing. And I walked into this place. I'm like, I'm here. I've arrived. And I was like, and he's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm Tyler Erickson. I'm here to start work tomorrow. And they're like, oh, we don't need you for another, like, I think you said 6 weeks. There's been a mistake with the dates. And I've just gone, oh my God. Like, because I was already pulling confidence from somewhere because I was actually a bit scared.
Yeah.
Um, but what I did is I was like, okay, cool. There's a few things that I know I'm capable of, and I was drawing on my childhood, and there's these moments that happen all throughout your childhood and your life that will dictate who you come. And if you don't have these lessons, then you have to learn them now.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I don't have resources, but I'm incredibly resourceful. And I learned that from my mum and my dad growing up and my brothers and the experience. It was like, if there is something on the side of the road that you can sell, unless you've got something more important to do, like I wouldn't do it now. It's not worth the dollar I'm going to make.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what can I do? And I was like, well, they're not going to give me work, but I'm really good at making friends. And I know people work here. So I made friends with one of the guys who is a South African dude who worked at the place. And I said, can you give me the couch to sleep on? Because I had nowhere to sleep. It was England,
Yeah.
fucking January. It was freezing. And I just like only had, it was really bad. Like if I was on the street, I was It's an end of trip event.
Yeah.
And I basically said, "Can you give me somewhere to sleep tonight?" Anyway, he come back after work and he goes, "Yeah, no worries. You can sleep on the couch," in his South African accent. And he goes, "But we're going to get drunk." So he went and bought some beer and a couple of bottles of wine, and we started drinking together. And I said, "I just need work, man. Whatever you can do." Anyway, I made mates with him, and he got me a job. And he goes, "But it's peeling potatoes and washing dishes." I said, "I don't care.
Yeah.
I
Right now,
just need money." Like, I just need money. And I got in there and I was like, "Oh, I've got two options here. What are my resources?" And my resources is just to be the best pot washer that this place has ever seen. So I was washing the dishes as quickly as I possibly could. I was going out, I was cleaning up plates and cutlery. I was helping them with the food prep because I understand the restaurant industry. The next day, they basically said, you've got a job. You can start now." The 6-week thing went out the window. And then
wow.
within 3 months, I was managing a chain of 3 pubs and restaurants and running the guys and helping with the renovations and getting paid £1,000 a week with accommodation and a car. And it just happened so quickly. But the moral to that story is like, because of this resourcefulness, I was like, I don't need resources right now. I have everything I need in my hands, but I also need to be hyper aware of what my opportunities are. And I need to be able to see through the gut, because most people in that scenario, the last time I was told this story, even James, my business partner, said, he goes, "I probably would have went home." Right?
Mm,
I probably would have went home. And I think for those who are listening, Haley's clients and clients that are coming on, it's like there's a lesson and a transmission you get from really understanding the deeper work and the childhood work of, if you don't have these skill sets, you need somebody to fucking teach you them.
yeah.
Because resources, people go broke all the time with money, you know?
Mhm.
It's like 70 to 80% of the millionaires in America are self-made. They didn't get an inheritance. They did it all on their own. And it comes from resourcefulness. And that's from putting yourself into situations like going to events, going to coaching, starting a business, realizing it's going to be really fucking hard, but going, "Hey, I have one thing, and that's myself. And I need to work on my mindset. I need to work on my skill sets, and I have to ask for help. And then I'm going to get the results that I want." Now, I got that transmission from my parents, which is fucking luck, right? If you didn't get that, I promise you, you need support through this process. You cannot do it alone. You need someone there behind you going, "No, you can do it. You are capable." Someone in your corner calling you out on your bullshit, which
Yeah.
I still have sometimes. You're sitting there and you're like, "It's sad." I'm like, "Oh, I can't do it." And, like, my coach would be like, "Get over your shit."
Yeah, just bang, give you a big slap across the face. Like, what can you do differently? Let's put like it's like giving their eyes to you so you can see something different and the
Yeah.
possibilities that are actually there instead of
Yeah.
sitting in that, oh shit, I've failed or that's it, I've got no money, I'm gonna pack up and go home. What's the point? You know?
Yeah. Because it's giving up's the easiest hard thing you'll ever do.
Mm,
It is the easiest hard thing you'll ever do because it feels like the easy option. And the thing that drives me insane is when I see people that give up, because I've mentored so many businesses from startup, up to 10, 20 million in revenue, like, and everywhere in between. And we've had like varying levels of success with all of them. When people give up, they're normally just, you're so fucking close. They're always so close. If I would have went home, I wouldn't have spent 12 months in Cornwall. Now, I have, from that life, I've lived multiple lives. That's the way I see it. From that life, and that time I spent there, my best friend he's my mate. We still talk to each other 2 or 3 times a week, and I never would have met him. When I
yeah,
play golf and he plays and we play alone, we go practice. We'll exchange cards on Facebook
yeah,
and challenge each other. And if I would have gave up, I would have had that friendship. I wouldn't have made those connections. I wouldn't have built all those amazing relationships. I wouldn't have got to experience a part of the world where most people just never go. People just don't go live in Cornwall.
yeah.
But I loved it. And it's like I could have went home and I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. Would have completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Totally, and it's just that one choice, that one decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what did you do after there? What made you go, "All right, I've done Cornwall, I'm changing the chapter."
Uh, I overstayed my visa by 6 months because because you get 2 years in the UK. And I was like, I'm not ready to leave. So I started working because I'm a carpenter by trade. That was my initial, when I was 14 and 9 months, I left school and went and did my carpentry apprenticeship. So I started working for a local builder and I just wasn't ready to go yet. So I kind of didn't follow the laws of the land and just stayed until they called me and they're like, you got to go. Like basically they got hold of my number, which I gave to nobody and rung me. I'm like, oh, this is pretty serious. Um,
Where
basically, if
are
you
where are you
don't,
hiding?
literally, like if you don't leave, then you're not allowed back. And I was like, I might want to come back one day.
Uh-huh.
So I, because I was working for cash at the time because I started on wages and then I started working. It's another sort of business opportunity. I started doing renovations on people's houses on the weekend. So I'd work Monday to Thursday for the builder, and then I'd go get paid £2,000 or £3,000 to strip a house back, refloor it, repaint it, redo the kitchen, and then I was turning them over in London with a friend. So I had like £30,000 in cash, which is like 50 grand. Like it's
Yeah.
not a good thing to be traveling with. So I decided to fly to Thailand with with like 30 grand in pounds. I changed it to US dollars at the airport and then split
That's
it all up.
risky that's risky in itself as well, like, what is this money laundering? Where are you getting this money from? The questions, you didn't get questioned, it's like
Yeah, and I'm not gonna pretend like I wasn't terrified.
yeah.
Like, there was no naivety. I was like, I hid £5,000 in each shoe. I had some in my carry-on, some in my pockets. I had some tucked in, like, different areas of my bag, and I was like, "I'm gonna get caught with this, and they're gonna trace me down, and they're gonna make me pay tax on it," or whatever it was. Um, and it was one of those scenarios where I just landed at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning at Bangkok airport with all this money stashed in things, with no accommodation booked, nowhere to go, no long-term visa planned. And I went and spent a couple of months in Thailand. I booked a nice accommodation because I was too scared to lose my money. And then a few
Well, you
scenarios,
wanted to, like, live the high life really, did you?
literally, yeah, but I wanted it to last another year. And then I spent a couple of months there and traveled around, went Koh Phi Phi, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, had a nice bike, and I enjoyed like a little holiday. And then I moved to Cambodia,
Oh, wow.
which was a bus trip for $10 across the border. It's a really dangerous country actually.
Yeah.
And when I landed in Cambodia, I was like, I was in the same scenario I was in. Like I still had a bit. I think I still had maybe I was like 15,000 US dollars or something at the time.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I I went and so the first thing I did was I got accommodation. That's my thing. Is I try and land in the morning, and then I'll walk around the city. I had like a plan. I've done it bunches of times all over Europe as well. I'll walk around and I'll find the area that feels the most fun and the most safe because I like to do walking where I can go for a walk on a nice track.
Uh-huh.
And then I just started going into every single bar and being like, "Hey, I've just moved here.
Yeah.
Do you have a job for me?" And I got offered a job on the third place, and he took me to a place and bought me dinner and offered me a job on the night shift. And then another person found out that I was working, and they doubled my salary and gave me a better room with a view. And I went and worked there, and I ran a bar in Phnom Penh, in the capital of Cambodia, for maybe 8.5 months.
Yeah, right.
It was,
That's
it was
cool.
it was weird, but it was interesting. But I also turned that bar around. Like I painted it and I cleaned it, and I'd go out when it was quiet, and I'd put one of the bar girls on the bar, and I'd go out to the backpackers in the other bars and collect people and bring them back to our bar. So we were starting to generate income, and I was getting loads of tips. It was just super fun. It was just like I've always ran everything like it was a business.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't matter what I touch. I'm like, hey, I want this thing to become better. I want it to be more. It doesn't matter whether I'm always going to get the money from it. So every time I've showed up to something, I've been like, hey, well, what's the best expression of this? How
Mhm.
can I give so much to this that it's going to turn into something where everybody can enjoy it?
Yeah, wow. To have that, like, built in at a young age,
Mm.
that's so cool. I love that. I love that you just can be like, "Right, I'm gonna go in here, and this is how I'm gonna make things work, and it's gonna be better," and it's all fun, you know? It's like you don't see it as, like, you're working or grinding and you're gon this is, like, what you've gotta do. It's like, "Okay, let's make this fun at the same time."
Yeah, there's a beautiful philosophy called sunken cost fallacy, and it just destroys people. Like people hold back so much on what they're capable of
Yeah.
with this idea that they need to be getting something.
Mm.
And
Why
I'm
do
a
you
big
feel like that is? Why do you feel like people do that?
so so in so society has social constructs and mindsets, and regardless of how much personal development work you've done, they have like just through shared language and news and programs and programming. So what we watch on TV, the way we experience things, the way we're paid, the advertisements that you see, the attitude of other people that you communicate with, they create a weight, a psychological weight in a society. So everyone, and if you think of physics, because I'm a firm believer of physics, if you think of quantum physics, things start to become a black hole or a singularity in a society, and things will be drawn towards them regardless of how much they try and move away from them. So it takes a lot of thrust for somebody to pull themselves out of that singularity of way of thinking, which is currently in Australia and most Western cultures. Even I saw it in Asia because they're copying us when I lived over there, and Europe was similar, but not they've passed it. Was you're only allowed to have enough. That
Yeah.
that's the message I get, and oh, I'm sorry, I'm even getting teary because it's really fucking sad. Like you're only allowed to have enough, and the goalposts keep getting moved, and the problem with enough is that things keep getting more expensive. You keep wanting more. We're naturally creatures who want more and more. So for you to stay the same as you are right now, you're in Broome, you're in a beautiful caravan, you're coaching amazing clients, you're talking to people all over the place, you've got all these beautiful experiences. If you just said, okay, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life now, in 3 years, you're going to be like, get me out of this. If I get dirt in this van one more time, I'm going to cry. But when we first moved to the territory, it's like, red dirt. Oh my God, this is
Right.
amazing. Right?
Yeah.
So we live in this experience where we're told enough is enough. Pay your super, earn your money, pay your taxes, get your house, find your partner, have some children, all beautiful things to do, by the way. But then that's all you're allowed to have,
Mm.
right? Nobody says it, right? But
Yeah.
they keep increasing the price of things. They keep spending money. They keep raising the taxes, and I also don't think that there's a bunch of malicious people sitting around a boardroom table planning this. I don't think they're that smart. I think
Mm.
this is just part of our human experience and part of our cultural evolution is to come out of this like, well, you're only allowed to have enough. And it's been like this for the last 100 years, and I don't see it changing quickly.
Mm.
That's why I think people go into a situation and then they're going, well, if I'm like, because this is unconscious behavior, right? If I'm only allowed to have enough, why would I work harder for someone else to have more?
Yeah.
Why would I create something unless I'm going to get something from them? Unless I'm allowed to, if I want to get something, and then it becomes this big getting competition,
Mm.
right? And everybody's trying to get something from somebody, and all of a sudden you go from this beautiful experience, which is a shared experience, which is a human experience of what can we create, which is what successful entrepreneurs do. There's a ceiling revenue with finances where you start paying yourself and you're putting stuff into a wealth fund. And that's a lot of what we do with Ultimate Entrepreneur. When people get to that point, it's like, well, why? I want to go to 10 million. Why?
Yeah.
How much money do you want? How much land do you want? How much do you need? What's your passive income strategy going to look like? And
Yeah.
they straddle that. They strategize all that, and they're like, actually, 3 or 1 or 500,000. This is enough for me. Like that's good because that's giving me all the abundance I need to grow, and then you can just pour into life,
Mm.
right? So people hold back for this. Only allowed to have enough. You're
Mm.
only allowed to have this, and I hear the conversation come up all the time. So for me, I was like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to live that life. And I don't have sunken cost fallacy with things. I'll invest everything to something. And if it doesn't work, I'll be like, I gave that my all. And that time of my life was amazing.
Mhm.
I've invested into businesses that haven't worked. I've invested into projects with people of, 20, 30, $40,000 of seed funding. And then 2 years later, they're like, there's no money left. It's not going to work. You're like, okay, At
Yeah.
least something great.
Yeah.
At least we tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that
That's
answer your question?
yes. Yeah. And it's funny that you say just enough because that's what it's been put out there recently. You you'll have enough and you'll be happy. That's the ending. You'll have enough and you'll be happy. But
Yeah.
I wanna have a lot. I wanna have, like, as much as I can dream or vision or whatever. I wanna have so much and know that it's gonna bring joy and I'm gonna be happy because I'm already happy within myself. So why not have it all? Why not
Yeah.
have a big dream of whatever it looks like? Everyone's different, I guess, but go bigger than what you originally think you want.
Yeah, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but my experience of you so far is like you want enough that you can share and you want to be able to give to communities and
Yeah.
you want to go and be a part of things and actually show up and
Yeah.
that's really difficult to do. It's really difficult to do when you don't have enough yourself, but it starts in the giving and then
Yeah.
it comes.
It really does because I love what I'm doing and I love how much I have changed where I was and where I am now, and that's why I wanna give to people and for them to experience it as well, and for them to know that, "Hey, you can have this, you can do this." Like, that's the thing is people I want them to visualize it happening for them as well, not just thinking, "Oh, oh, she's lucky," or it it happens for her, but it can't happen for me. You know how, like, different the mindset of people is different, and it's like, I'm showing you this because I actually wanna add value to your life so you can do this too.
Yeah. Yeah, and the longer you get into the journey, it's like you like that psychological like I see it as a black hole, by the way. That psychological singularity of societal norms and culture that grabs in, that's sucking people in. It's
Mm,
like there are people because the way they work is there's a disconnect, and I see this just people getting flung off all the time. And if you feel like you're being dragged back into it, which is the conversations that you'll be having with your clients and friends and people you meet on the street, and everybody has these chats, and you're in these beautiful times in your life where you're traveling and you're experiencing joy and abundance. You've got to be okay, and I know that you'd be experiencing this, Haley. Whereas some people are going to be like more interested in the story that they've convinced themselves is the right thing to do than they are in the life that they actually want.
mm,
And it fucking sucks to look at from the outside because you look at them and they're like, oh, that's only for you, and I can't do that, and I want safety and I want stability, and like, there's actually nothing wrong with that if you can live like that your whole life, and some people do, and they're
mm,
happy in that.
yeah,
But to deny somebody else of that, I just think that's quite. I just think that I think it's mean. I just think to deny or to pull somebody down or to even say things like, "Oh, only you can do that." Like that's not true because I believe all human beings are special, and I do have in the reality of there are different levels of IQ and EQ. Like some people are more intelligent, some people are more emotionally intelligent than others, and that's the part of it. But I also think we're all on the same operating system. And even though if it might be a little bit harder for you, you might have to get help. You not
yeah,
might, you definitely have to gonna get help. You're
mm,
gonna have to learn something, and it's gonna be painful emotionally to break emotional bonds from society, from family, from all those things.
mhm,
But to say that you can't and that you're not as worthy as somebody else because they're different or they're better or they've had a different experience or they got more courage is crazy. Like it's delusional. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like if you want it, fucking go for it.
yeah,
It's the
ab
worst that can happen.
yeah, and everyone can change that. Everyone can learn like, it's about learning and making different choices. Do something different. Like, don't stay in that mindset of, "Ah, that's not for me." Like, you're already blocking yourself by saying, "Oh, that's not for me." It's not gonna come if you fully believe it's not for you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the curiosity, and I think some people are born with it. Like, and I think and other people learn it later. But it's like if you're listening to this conversation and you're going, maybe. maybe that's me. Maybe I have been holding myself back. Then just start asking, like, what if? Like, it's the simplest question.
Yeah.
You know, if you're happy or if you're unhappy or you want more, or you know, you've been doing the same thing for a long period of time and you've had an idea about a business that you want to start, or you've started a business and you had to go back to work. And trust me, you're not alone in that. That happens to so many people.
Yeah.
Just
And
step one.
going back to work is the worst case scenario. That's already what you're doing. So,
Exactly.
nothing, it's fine. It actually, yeah, it's fine to fail because then you get feedback and you can learn from that and then and go in a different direction next time. Like
Yeah.
it's not the end. It's just like, okay, go back. You can go back to work for whatever, few months, whatever it needs to be, so that you can learn from it. Go, yeah, I'm going to go this way this time because that way didn't work. And the more we fail, the better in my eyes, because it means you're actually having a go. You're doing something different. You're taking the chance on yourself to actually create what you want.
Look, failure is a part of, and I'm glad you've brought this up, Haley. Like, failure is a part of life. Like, you
Yeah.
zig and you zag. There's going to be times where you're in it and it feels horrible and hard and difficult, and you're going to have to maybe go back to work. You're going to have to lay off staff. An experience with us, with James and I's business, Ultimate Entrepreneur, is we, in the last 6.5 months, invested about in between 80 and $100,000 in a marketing campaign that didn't work,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
Zero conversions. Now, we still made plenty of money in that process. But if I saw that as we've failed, you know, and we've got our monthly recurring revenue, we've set the business up properly. If I saw that as a failure and I'm like, well, we're shutting the whole thing down, we're never going
Burn
again,
it to the ground.
right? But because we've done the work on ourselves and we've both had coaching over years and years and years, we've had other streams of revenue. When it comes to business, the problem that most people have is they think that the shot that they're shooting, it's like, I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to go for this one thing. And this is how I'm going to get clients. And this is what I'm going to do. Right. And it fails. And it's the only thing they work on. Here's the hot tip. Right. If you're just starting out, do fucking 5 things at once.
Yeah. I
Because
feel like
4
I'm
isn't
still
going to
doing
work.
that after 4 years.
Yeah. And we still do it. We still have the speaking from stage. We've got our podcast where we jump on and do conversations like this. We've got marketing, direct marketing campaigns. We've got email marketing campaigns. We've got partnerships with people. Right? And I still go to networking events to do lead generation. Some of them have never made me any money.
Yeah.
Right? Some of those things have never made me any money, but I'm doing what I love
Yeah.
and I'm in it and I'm enjoying it and I'm helping people, right? And the clients that we have that come in and stick with us for 12 to 18 months, they're like, I'm doing this thing, it's not working. I'm like, stick at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes years.
Mm.
James Baylog, who would be on the
He
previous
was
session,
on,
is that right now?
yeah,
Yeah,
he was on last week. Yeah.
last week. So James is my my business partner. And I remember distinctly we were at an event where there was about 500 people there. The question from the crowd was, he's like, how do you determine success? And he goes, there's been one thing that I've known that ensures success, right? And there's one thing and one thing only. And they go, what's that? And he goes, it's not intelligence, it's not skill, it's not looks, it's not nothing. It's the person who lasts the fucking longest.
Yeah.
It's the
So
person who
true.
sticks it out and just keeps at it. And, you know, being in as a business owner, an entrepreneur, or even a career person, employed, whatever it is, there's, like I said, there's times where it's going to be really hard. And it's when you can, on surface level, look like everything's great, right? And this is myself included, right? And then you're actually struggling and you work through that. You do the personal work and the skill sets. This is
Mm.
what mentoring is such a vital part of it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do anything else without learning.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like success is also seen differently by different people. Like my success probably looks completely different to your success as well. And I think that showing up for yourself in every moment of life and business, that's success. If you
Yeah.
can still show up and be there, that you're successful. Like if you get up today and you like take a step forward, just like one thing to move the needle forward, that's success in my eyes because you didn't quit, you didn't stop, you still got up and you still did something.
Yeah, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. It's like you're just sharing successes are different because then one day there's going to be somebody listen to that and they're going to be like, these two are crackpots. I want, I love my work. Why would I want to do that? And I'm so happy and I feel so successful and I've got my family and I've got my little house and it feels amazing. And that's also the truth.
Mm,
Right. And I think just looking at that wide range, because your level of success is like, I hate dust. So where you are right now, I think you said you're in Broome.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, I'd be having the worst time. It's not my level of
the dirt
success.
everywhere.
It's just got dirt everywhere. When I was traveling in my caravan, I wouldn't do dusty, crispy, or damp. I'll just leave.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
So I can't stand it. So the idea of success for me is even where I want to be on earth is different to you.
Yeah.
And it's the same with what we want to do with our lives. And I think if you're not willing to explore that, especially when you're, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, to actually explore and try different things and see what's out there,
Mm,
then you're going to have some regrets later on.
yeah. No one wants to be on their deathbed thinking, shit, I should have traveled or I should have done that. I should have, when they could have.
Yeah. This is a random side quest I did when I was 18 and 19, but I went and worked at a nursing home um, for 2 years and did my AIN aged care certificate and my dementia specific and frail age. And I worked on the floor as a nurse in the nursing home for 2 years.
Oh, no.
Um, so there was the sad part about that was there was 48 funerals in 18 months that I attended, and I'd never been to one before. So it was apart from an auntie, which I didn't know. So it was one of these experiences of like, I learned compassion. But the second thing that really, really dropped in with me is like I started to build this really big relationship with the resistance to regret because there was a lot of regrets in those places and there was a lot of people who didn't have them as well. And you can go Google the 5 common regrets of the dying. Um,
You would
but
see it all there, all of it.
what's that?
You would
Yeah,
see it all there and hear it all there. That's a place where you would,
it's not just something that's not it's real. They go, I wished I made. They'll say these things. I wished I made more time to travel and with my family and build relationships with people. I wished I never lost touch with my friends, right? And then the other one is I really wished I did this thing or this thing with my career or this business or there'd be people who worked as um there's one guy for instance, his name was Terry, and he worked as a builder his whole life. He wanted to be a gardener.
oh,
He's like, I wish I was a gardener and I built houses. So I had all these beautiful plants, and I'd sit there. I was a strange kid, but like everyone's
don't
going.
you can see it.
I'd go to the pub with my friends and go partying and stuff like most 18-year-olds do. But I'd also stay back for 4 hours at the nursing home after work and sit down and play Scrabble with people and just talk to this wisdom. And I
Mm,
also realized that not all of them are nice. Getting old doesn't necessarily mean that you've got wisdom. Sometimes that was the lesson. But
yeah.
the experience I got to have was like, there's going to come a time where regret's going to be final. Like
Mm,
it's going to be real. There's going to be a time in my life where regret is going to be this fuck all. Am I allowed to swear? I've done it like 5 times now.
totally.
Cool.
Everything's welcome here.
There's fuck all you can do about it. There's going to be a time in your life where regret is going to be written in stone and
Mm,
you're going to have to live with it. And if
mm,
that time's not now, then at least start.
mm,
Like at least explore, try something because there will be a time where you go, I can't start the business. I'm too old. I'm unfit. I'm unhealthy. So the time's now because there will be a time where you don't have the option anymore and your mind starts to go, your body starts to go, or you don't have any time left on this earth.
This just feels so heavy in my body right now. Uh, like I feel things like this
Mm.
uh, deeply. Yeah. I was tearing up thinking of being on my deathbed and, having these regrets. Right now I don't have any because I've always pursued different things that I've said that I wanna do, and even, like, shitty choices and that I've made in the past, I don't regret any of them either because it has built who I am today, and that's
Mm.
why I still choose to, like, go do things or experience things in different ways, so then I don't have these kind of regrets. But to hear that there are people on their deathbed, you know, being a builder all your life and wanting to be a landscaper, like, that's choosing just to change, like, you're still going to be around building sites and things like that. You could be in
People just get locked in on a pathway. It's the thing. It's like,
Oh, you know what I love James actually said last week about the hypnosis? That
yeah,
that really landed for me about how everybody in life is in this deep hypnosis until they come out and they're like, "Fuck."
that's the lock. They're locked in. They're just,
Yeah.
and it feels true.
Mm.
And um, I'm just going to tell a story about my brother, and I'm running a. Is it okay to tell a story in my head? But I'm going to tell it. So my brother's also a builder, and he wants to work for the forestry, the fishing and forestry thing. And he's right now he financially can't because he's built a house and got a young family. But every time I speak to him about it, I'm like, when when are you going to do that? Because there
Yeah.
become a time when he can. And that's the other
Mm.
thing. It's like sometimes it's not now,
Yeah.
but it's like if you can, like what? All right, so that's what you want to do because he loves fishing, uh, hunting for feral game, being around the forest, cutting down trees, lighting fire. That's what he wants to do with his life, and he's an amazing builder, and he enjoys that as well. But he said to me one day, he goes, "I'd actually really want to do that," and he's never said anything like that to me before. And I was just like, wow, like, and the potential is that he may never do that.
Mm.
But what he could do right now, next time I talk to him again, is this is give me a bit of a nudge. Is he could volunteer. He could go and do the courses and the training, and he could because I said to him, I said, "Well, you need to figure out what they pay, figure out your financial position, get yourself in there, and if that's what you want to do with your life, then you need to go do it because
Yeah.
the money's only there's a level of abundance where you feel secure and safe and having a long-term financial plan and setting yourself up with a one of my favorite wealth strategies is the fuck you wealth strategy. So you build enough wealth that by you're about 50, your passive income pays you your expenses and you have a property that you own outright that nobody can touch. So
Mm.
any room that you walk into, you can go, I don't want to be in this room.
Yeah.
I think setting yourself up for that is going to take a push for some people. Not everybody wants that. And then you really got to just make a decision. Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? Because Jack, you said, hey, with James, it's like the hypnosis is real. And the rhythm, I want everybody to consider this, the rhythm is real because once you get in a rhythm, it's more hypnotic and you double down and you convince yourself that there's no other way because that's how we rationalize an existence that doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Because the existence that people live, even sometimes mine, like I'm not definitely no fucking guru, but the existence, right, needs to be rationalized by our brain because our current existence doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Like there's no nomadity. We don't travel enough. We don't eat properly. The
Yeah.
relationships that we build with people are meant to be for generations and they're years now. Like this, it doesn't make any sense. So we rationalize it through hypnosis and sadness until it slowly poisons our brains and our bodies. It doesn't make sense. So it's one of those like, and how do you break out of hypnosis? It's like it's actually more fucking hypnosis.
Yeah.
You have to hypnotize yourself with a new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's wild though with TV, music, all the different frequencies. It's the way that they do it is how it keeps you in there. Like it's
Yeah,
deeper
I
than what people actually think.
it's the
Subliminal messaging, all of that kind of thing.
uh, even the they do it is like no one there's no one doing it. That's the thing. It's like it's your like this is the thing because I say that as well. They and I fucking like I follow politics. I'm interested by, and I always say they, and I've got to keep reminding myself, this is all my fucking fault.
Yeah, it's all what you do, what you see, what you label or make meaning of, right?
Yeah, and there's definitely this like psychological way to talk about it. It's like because I'm with you, Haley. Like I do the same thing. I'm like they, because that's easy as well.
I know, I blame them all the time. And who's them?
Who are they? Because if I knew, I'd punch them. No, like there's no like, and I've been working on this for honestly. So if you make the same mistake, any of the listeners, like I've been working on this for years and I still do it because it's. And I remember at the start of the podcast, I'm like, I don't think this like Mr. Burns and a group of like people in black suits with shady faces sitting around planning this. I just don't think they're that fucking smart. Like I don't believe it. But there is this pattern of it. Like it's like it feels like it's happening to us.
Mm,
Right. So it's easy to put a name to it. And then you lose all control.
mm.
Like you lose all control and that never goes away. It's a constant reminder. And it's like, I heard you say it. I'm like, oh, I probably said that this session as well. So I'm doing this just to call myself out. It's like,
Yeah,
there's no they, there's just you.
yeah.
You have to do it.
I that's something that I'm really gonna get to work on and change because I feel like we put the fear in ourselves and into others, like by speaking about it. If we just live how we want to with an open mind and make the choices that we want to make, not by what we're told to do or what mainstream media or anything like that puts out there that we've got to do. We get to be sovereign. We get to choose how we show up every day. So with that blame of they or they're doing this or they do this to us, what if we just choose not to go there
Yeah.
or to look at, have that in our field?
Yeah. The thing is, you're exactly right. You have to have, I'm, I'm unraveling this in my mind as we speak is because it's like, it's also happening, but there's no one doing it. That's the thing that's really tricky because it's happening. You watch the news. I'm doing singing lessons at the moment because
Are you?
yeah,
You just do like the widest range of things. I love it.
I'm trying to experience all of life. Anyway, I went through a separation a year ago. Beautiful woman, just needed to live different lives, and we actually made very similar decision to what we're talking about now. It's like we could do that, but if we did that, we'd both be unhappy.
Mm,
So we're going to have to do something apart,
mhm.
which was a really difficult time in my life. But from that, I realized that I just don't express myself enough. My expression of emotion is too controlled, right? And I was like, well, I could blame my parents. I could blame that all boys are like that. That would be the easiest. It's like, oh, that's what men are like. That's the cultural. I was like, or I could fucking learn to express myself.
Yeah, you go in, right?
So I've signed up for singing lessons and it's really hard to choose a song because you have to stick to the song for like a year.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so I chose one um
What did
last
you go with?
well, I've been doing Days Go By at Keith Urban.
Cool.
And I
Nice.
was like, it's a happy song, but I'm also getting no like I want this I'm not getting any expression for it because it's a little bit like
Did you
that was
stay comfortable, Tyler? Did you stay
yeah,
comfortable with
I chose I chose pop safe. And then I sung it for a thing in the car like 5 times of a morning, of an evening, doing the singing like, and I guess I do everything to the fullest. So and I'm going to my lessons every week, and I'm like, I just don't think she goes it's the right song. She goes, yeah, it's not, but you've got to sing something, and I'm not going to sit here and. So she's really cool. And last night, this weekend, I was like, no, fuck this. I'm picking a song, like, and I'm gonna choose something hard. And the programming in these songs is like really bad. So I want something that's emotional and like guttering emotion. Like I want people to hear the crack in my voice, and I want to, which is not happening publicly yet, just public service announcement. You're gonna have to wait 12 months before that happens,
Okay, cool.
because I've never sung before. But I want something that's like guttural and it goes into like a crescendo, and I'm like, I'm using AI to help me find this song, and I'm listening all last night. I'm listening to these songs, going, if I sung this to myself for fucking 12 months, I'd get depressed.
It's wild when you hear lyrics. Like, you're
Yeah,
actually when you sing out loud, you're actually saying that to yourself. That's what a lot of people don't get, that, like, what they say, what they sing is speaking to themselves, and some lyrics is like I've done a deep cleanse on my, liked songs of late because I'm like,
yeah,
there's different songs talking about anxiety or, like bad things, and I'm like, I don't want this in my field. I'm not saying that to myself, like, delete, delete, delete.
yep,
It's wild. And even the music, like the sound is low frequency as well. So
yeah. It's difficult. So you're sitting there like I get it. A cleanse is a really good idea. I'm going to do that now. Great tip.
mm.
Because I have done that in the past, but you don't get left with much.
I've got so many great ones coming through since I've been doing that, and the songs that I've been
Right.
adding, Spotify are giving me songs similar to that. So now I have like this beautiful morning
Perfect.
manifestation sounds that fill you and are light
Yeah.
and happy and that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I went to, this is about 5 or 6 years ago when I started. I'd done personal development when I was traveling, and when I moved back to Australia, well, that was 7 years ago now. It's fast. Um, I started my deeper journey, and I just went no lyrics. The only music I'd listen to would be instrumental guitar, piano,
Mm.
or, um, I don't know what it was, massage parlor music.
Yeah,
No, what else to call it, like tranquil
exactly.
stuff. Because
Yeah,
I
Bali.
needed to, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
tricky. I
yeah.
needed to unwind, so I'm like, I wanna share your Spotify list, I'm keen.
I did that for a little while as well, just, no lyrics and
Yeah.
different, like, native and Viking
Oh,
Viking vocalists and things like that really got me, like, deep in the soul. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's the experience I want from the music that I wanna develop myself, because I've got sound bowls and I've got hand pans and I have all those instruments that I
Mhm.
play, but I really wanna add this because that's an expression, right? But it's also like, meh, like it's an expression, but I really want the oh fuck, maybe I need to write my own song.
Whoa, there it is. It's already there. You've said it
That
out loud.
that's probably the challenge that I need to give myself, is write and learn, like, which has just made it
How
way
cool would
harder.
that be though? That would
Yeah,
be so cool. I
yeah,
love
it would.
the hand pan. That I've wanted
Beautiful.
to get one for probably about 3 months now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "What can I where can I store it in the van?" All the things. I've got
It'd
a
just be harder.
my guitar under the bed.
Yeah,
I'll get it out because 'cause I'm learning and start strumming to learn, and then it ends up flat on my lap, and I'm just, like, flicking the strings and just making all these different sounds, and it sounds so good compared to me actually trying to play the guitar normally, so I just get lost in that, and then I'm like, "Oh, that would be cool with handpan," and yeah,
yeah,
music
yeah.
is so healing.
I think it's a really important part of our life. It's, because the impact that it has on you on a
Mm,
s on a spiritual level, the impact that it has on you will then start to program your mind. It's like, I know, because I have 20-inch crystal bowls and hand pans, and I've got Tibetan bowls and Indian flute and thunder machines and all that kind of stuff. And I
nice.
know when I play them, I do go into a trance-like state. I do really go into this thing, but it's like, I don't fucking play. I used to do sound baths and I just whatever, I don't wanna do that. I don't want $10. Like, there's people who love that shit and they wanna do it all the time. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just set it up in my house and do it myself.
yeah.
Um, but there's something about the vibrational medicine and the experience of actually sitting and, like, create, like, for me, it's like to listen to something is one thing, but then to create it is another, and I think I've just challenged myself, Hayley, like, I'm probably gonna have to write a song.
I
I
love
don't
this for
I don't know
you.
how that's I don't know how that's
You get to express, and this is the
exactly,
thing, like,
yeah, I'm gonna
that's
have
what
to,
you that's what you're doing the singing for, is to be more expressive, so
yeah,
this is actually coming from you.
yeah, I'll have to learn music structure, or maybe not, maybe I'll just make my own up, but
Totally.
what's the space?
How weird is it that just from one conversation, your next goal can be set just from,
Mm,
speaking it out loud, and then like, you just can visually see it. I can visually see it happening, just you
yeah, I'll
putting
do it,
all the
yeah,
things together. Yeah.
yeah, because I spent 20 hours over the weekend looking for a song, and I'm like, he's just like, that's the thing that was the experience is it's there. Because I'm going for like Jelly Roll and like country music songs, like quite deep and emotional experiences, and I think they're not mine, and I think that's why I'm trying to resonate with something, and I just believe that maybe I'm different.
Mm,
So I'm not resonating because I've unwound that level of victim mentality from myself, because a lot of these beautiful songs they still create an emotional response in me,
yeah,
right? But they're not my story.
yeah.
So I'm looking for something to latch onto, and without becoming somebody else through their music, I just maybe that's my angle.
Mm.
So it might be days go by for a little while until I until I figure out, because I still have to practice the vocal cords.
Yeah, yeah, they need practice, they need work. There's an app called, is it Suno or something, Suno? And
I
you
don't know.
can put your lyrics, you can write lyrics and type it in, and it creates it as a song.
Oh, I'm gonna give that a go. That sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it is. I'll tell you what, I'll find it, I'll send it to you.
I've seen the ads.
You have seen them? Well, yeah.
It's the ads I have, yeah, on Instagram. I think I've seen that come up, but yeah, I've never had this conversation before, so
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. It can be, you can write lyrics and then put lots of different sounds behind it, and
Yeah, well, then I just learned to sing that song. That's so good.
it's so
Excited.
so great. So, apart from, like, all the different things that you've done and the sound bowls and the healing and the spirituality side of things, ultimate entrepreneurs,
Mhm,
that's incredible for leaders, for people that are doing big sales in their business. How did you get to that point after traveling and doing the deep personal development yourself?
mm.
Where was it where you went, "Right, let's get business owners in to create major impact in this world?"
The 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 ultimate entrepreneur name itself is it's a really simple thing, and James and I both got here together. It's like it's a question that's an individual question for each person. Like, what is the ultimate entrepreneur? It's not a statement, it's a question. And each person has a different answer. And that was part of the reason why we started this business is James and I both had successful coaching and consulting businesses. We worked together on a project that was difficult, supported each other through that. And then he invited me to a sales training. He used to run an event called Transformational Sales Training, and he'd run this training 10 times. And he invited me to come and speak. And I'm a very, I'm a strategist. So when it comes to business, I'm a business strategist, and I do sales and leadership and team management strategist. And I've done loads of training on that. I'm an NLP trainer and done a lot of the head stuff, but I've
Mhm.
also done a lot of the emotional and exploring work. And James is a mentor and a coach. So I'm a trainer and a strategist, and he's a mentor and a coach. So we came together and we did this event, and people just like loved it. Like that was the best that I've seen either of you together was better than when you're separate. And they liked us before, but
Yeah.
there's just real synchronicity because we're incredibly different people. And he's, consider him a best friend now. He's like a brother to me. It's like we're really deeply connected. And when we said, well, I spoke at one event and then we done another one, and then I think we did a webinar and we had lots of conversations back and forwards. And I was at a point in my life where I was like, I just really don't want to be alone on this journey of drive anymore. Like I was in because I'm quite a driven person, and it's like I need somebody who's not a partner, like an intimate partner,
Yeah.
with me on this journey. And I need somebody that I can trust. And I was asking for that and calling it in before. Then I was like, I need a partnership with someone. I tried with a few people, and then James popped up, and his values and my values are very similar, but they're also very different. And what he wants from life and what I want from life are similar and different. Like
Mm.
he loves fishing, I love golf. I'll go fishing, he won't come to golf. But I just say because fishing's easier. Um, but we spent some time together, and we sat down and we looked at our like this model which we developed on the first week, where we sat down and started playing the business together. And we said, well, we've got a couple of options here. It's like we can go wide or we can go narrow, and we're relationships people. So the business really started, and it was like we're super fucking picky with who comes into the community. You know,
Yeah.
at a time, there's no more than sort of 6 private clients who work with us one-on-one, which is intensives and intimate work. And there might be 10 to 15 people in our next layer down, which is the group coaching and the events and things like that. And so we both don't want lots of people. We both want to work with people only that we're willing to have over to our house for a barbecue.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and then this connection built between us, between the shared thing of it's like, and I'll just touch on why our marketing didn't work, because this is a real reason about why we started the business. And you never stop learning, and we didn't do this intentionally; it just happened. It's like when we went to go to market and run paid ads, what actually happened is we stopped treating our new clients as relationships, long term relationships, and to become a part of our network, and we started treating them as a potential product.
Mm.
And I think that was the biggest lesson that we had from that experience. Now, there's a heap of leads in there, there's 1,000 emails, all the stuff, like it will make the money. It's not important. The
Yeah.
transmission that we got is like we're relationship people, and that's what brought us together in the first phase. And that's what made entrepreneur the question, not the solution. It's like it's a question. This is what do you want to become? And with our varying skill sets and our sort of desire to go deep with people and have long term relationships, we've got clients that are with us now who started in startup, and I mean startup, that are doing 1.25 million this quarter
Nice.
in contracted sales, and they started with us at the start, and they're going to be with us for the next couple of years. So the reason behind it is because we don't want 1,000 people, we don't want fame. We want to do the right thing. We want to build business. We want to build our own wealth. We've got our property investment and restoration, things on the side that we do. But
Yeah.
our main focus is just really helping people on the journey. And we both love it. Like the experience of being on a call with a client who's gone from somebody who's driven is probably going to make it anyway. This is going to take 10 years to they've found themselves, and they're saying things like on the call we had this morning was, I sat in the car and I felt really happy. I was bopping and dancing around and I was joyful. And then I felt guilty almost instantly about that. And then I was like, oh my God, that's the thing I get to work on next. And I was like, that's the answer. That's the real work. That's the depth. Because kicker is I'm the strategy guy, and strategy is the easiest fucking part of business you can do. It's the emotional journey that'll hold you back.
So true. So true. But we get to work on that. We get to work on both. Like strategy for me probably doesn't come as easy as what it does for you.
Yeah.
And when that's what I would then get to work on.
Everyone, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's strategy is easy for me. Like
Yeah.
because
And I
I'm
love that
resourceful.
you're not like just turning clients over like bang, 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 bang. It's like relationship building,
Yeah.
watching what they actually, where they come in and how like they grow, what on a deeper level, not just with their business, like who were they when they first come in and who are they now? How are they showing up so differently in their business so they can then take on this much money, you know, because that's a big thing as well. I feel like your nervous system and who you are and how you hold money, or not hold it, like, so to speak, but, you know, allow
Develop
it.
it,
Yeah,
allow it. Yeah, the word is with money is it's a very simple word. It's you need to learn to receive money
yeah,
because receiving things is and it's a very feminine experience as well, which is really just why men are really good at making it and then not keeping it. You know,
mhm,
and women who are in their masculine in business are really good at making it and moving and shaking and hustling, but they're not good at keeping it. Because
mhm,
receiving is like to receive and
yeah,
then to hold. Because money comes with responsibility and it comes with pain and it comes with suffering and it comes with needing to protect it just like you would a child. That's why it's a feminine experience. So if you're not willing to learn to receive and hold, right? And then turn that into something, which is what women, this is a belief system.
yeah,
Women do is they take something and they receive it, and they normally just make it fucking better if you let them.
yeah,
Right?
totally,
Unless they're in the masculine,
yeah,
then they make it worse. But if they're in their feminine and they're leaning into that, they'll get it and they'll grow children and homes and create and have these beautiful experiences. It's a very powerful force is the receiving energy.
yeah,
So you need to start with the giving energy, with the masculine energy, and as you move through, you go through, right, giving, becoming attractive, attracting the right things into your life, supporting that in the right way and co-creating with it, and then eventually receiving. And the journey is being able to see and do that. And a big component of, and to be clear, we don't teach this, but we have people who come into our community that are experts on wealth creation and wealth building that have done it for 30 years and they have their own portfolios. So you get a business to 1.5, 1.6 million. That's about the time you start to get surplus cash. In between 500,000 and 1.6, there's nothing left
mhm,
over because you have to hire, otherwise you die, which
yeah,
is a whole other story. But then after that, it's like, well, what's next? You know, do you want to be philanthropic? Do you want to? Is it just all for generational wealth? Do you want property? Do you actually the whole time you just wanted to fucking farm on the beach? Because if that's what you actually wanted the whole time, let's get that and then sell the business and you just go live there
yeah,
because that's what you wanted.
yeah,
So the journey is quite a deep one. And the other thing is, Haley, is like last week we're graduating a client now. He's been with us since the very beginning on private coaching, which is not even just a big financial investment, it's a big time investment to work with us private. Lots of in-person immersions. There's 1 or 2 hours a week, and like we really invest into them and their business long term.
mhm,
Help them buy and purchase business and acquire and build and scale. But he come and stayed at our house, and his son slept in my caravan out the front, and he slept in the spare bed, and we have dinner together, and like
yeah,
there's a deeper personal relationship in that, and that's who we are as people.
and I love
Um,
that.
yeah.
I love that. That's intimate. That's like family, really, isn't it? Like helping them in so many ways, not just like them being a client, like, you know.
That exactly. That 'cause people have to start as clients, but it's like the mistake. Like, and to be fair, we didn't treat them like this once they got on sales calls with us and had conversations. But our marketing funnel was built by the best,
Mhm,
and they're really good at what they do. If you need a marketing guy and you have a product to sell, then I would recommend this guy, even though we didn't get a lead, because the job he did was incredible.
yeah,
Right?
right,
He just did such a great job.
yeah,
All of the copy, all the photos, all done properly. Right?
yeah,
Massive fucking mismatch in the values, right?
yeah,
Because we're relationship guys. It's a long-term thing. And having to go to a client, like another one of our private clients, he's been with us for 2 and a bit years now, right? He's been on retainer, working with him. I go to his workshop. He lives here in Yeppoon, and we've been building the whole thing out. He's just in this beautiful moment at the moment. I go, hey man, January next year is when you don't coach with us anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's got to stop. And he's
yeah,
like, oh, I don't know if I'm like, it's the first time he said it, he's like, I don't know when I'm ready to be. I'm like, we have to choose a time because you need to become my friend one day.
yeah,
Otherwise, I never would have sold him anything in the first place. And I think just we're really that's who we are.
Yeah. And that's another thing that then you get to journey through as well is like the death of a relationship that way and then the birth of a friendship,
Yeah,
like the death of the client, the birth of the friendship. Like how
yeah,
great is that? Yes, it's sad, but things do have to come to an end. And then the new thing is then birthed of a beautiful friendship. It's so cool.
yeah. It's special, and I've had this like with private clients from Canada, and we're mates now, and we can go for a beer together,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they'll even say like, "Oh, you have more problems than I thought you had." Well, yeah, because I had a job to do, which was to hide that from you because, like, I have a job to do and I have most of my life together. But anyone who thinks that they have all of it together. If anyone you're working with, here's a good metric for shit test. If they look perfect, there's something fucking big underneath.
Yeah. Yeah. You when I'm coaching with my clients, I'm going through it with them. Like it's the whole
Yeah,
thing. You are going through something similar to them or, on a different level, but you're doing it, you're there with them. You're in it with them, you
yeah.
know?
Your leaders work beside you, with you. They go first. Like that's the whole point, and it's the journey of even sharing about my singing lessons. It's like I haven't said that on a podcast yet. I've said it to friends. It's a vulnerable experience for me. I go to this weird little thing and sing in front of this lady who's got a PhD in fucking vocals,
She tells you if
right?
you're good or not. She's
Hey?
she tells you if you're good or not. You've got to
No,
work
she's
on
she's
this.
she's so beautiful that she's just like she just doesn't matter how it sounds.
Yeah.
And then when I hit a note, she's like, yeah, like she's just like the perfect teacher.
Yeah.
You're like, you do your homework? Well, that's why you're bad at that still. Um, but those experiences of that is like, if I'm not willing to share those experiences and I'm not willing to go through those experiences, I have no business
Mhm.
guiding people. I shouldn't be. And the times where I do feel like I should be holding something back is generally when, you need to express something the most because true leadership, um, is you walk beside them. You walk through them, you walk with them. It's like, hey, I've done this before, right? And I'm going to come and get in it with you because that's the way we do things. Because we don't sell products, we sell the relationship and the result.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, I've been through this before, and I'll get in the weeds with you, and I'll do it. And the other part of our business model is our network is. I'm not sure if you got a chance to chat to James about it, but we have somebody who is an expert in everything. And if we don't, we'll find it. And if
Mhm.
we need to bring that expert in, to come and consult with that person, we'll bring them in as part of it to support that person through that journey. And half the time they don't, they just give them the consult. There's no money exchange. And if there is a retainer or something, then we negotiate that and support them with them because businesses need these levels of support. And I don't feel like you should be teaching something that you haven't, you're not a couple of steps ahead of, you're not in an experience or you're not willing to go there yourself. That's somebody else's job. And even with James and I, there's certain things that he'll coach on that I won't,
Mhm.
and vice versa. He'll just be like, "Oh, we'll just be like, whoa, no, that's wrong person on the call. I'll
Yeah.
book you in with James. I'll book you in with Tyler."
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
love that.
yeah, and you'd have the same. There'd be that you sit across from somebody and you go like, they need someone else right now, and I need to.
Mhm.
And it's your job to find that person for them. Or sometimes we go, "I'll just get in the weeds with you. Let's fucking figure it out."
Yeah. Yeah, I do that myself. Not unfortunately, but yes, I have experienced a lot of different things in my lifetime that I have experience in and knowledge in, and know that, hey, if I can get out of there, I can help you get out of there as well. I feel you because I've
Yeah,
been in it. And there's also been times when I'm like, oh, I know the perfect person for you that you should chat to because
yeah,
they will be able to offer you more than what I can right now.
yeah, yeah. And that's the
That's the difference with some coaches. Like,
it's integrity. That's the and there's scarcity around money and
mm,
this big piece around productizing a person is, and I think that's going to be the difference over the coaching industry and any business, to be honest. If you productize a relationship and like and turn it from a relationship into a transaction, you're running a different business. And I
Mm.
think that like this is a current developing in society, and I've been wrong about heaps of shit, so I might be wrong about this, but my belief system is now is that if you do like what you just said, Haley, which is you go, you know, I I'm not going to send them to somebody else because therefore I'm going to lose some money or, I can't lose control of that client. You're turning that person into a product. When it
Tot
comes to consulting, coaching, and training, if you productize a person, right, you lose all empathy as a human,
Mhm.
and you'll keep them on for longer than they need to be with you, right? And if your whole job is to mentor somebody through change to one day they don't need you anymore, which is what coaching is,
Mhm.
then you holding on to them because you believe that they belong to you will bite you on the ass more than you could know.
Yeah. Yeah. It won't work. It just won't work in the end. It
A couple of months it will, but it'll be painful at the end.
totally, totally. And something else that is a red flag or the ick in the coaching industry that I've seen lately is signing, like, when you work with someone and you're signing the contract and it states in there that you can't work with someone else while you're working with them.
Mm,
Like, I've worked with, like, different coaches at the same time for different things.
yeah,
You should be able to go to the finance guy for finance. You should be able to go to the energetics guy for the energetic. You should be able to go to, whatever it is and not have to. You can be sovereign and choose where you wanna go, what you wanna do for you, what's right for you, not have to stay with this one person at that time and that's it.
yeah. We have one rule with that, so we actually encourage that. The only rule we have is that you just chat to me about it first because we
Yeah.
work with only a few people. It's like, hey, I'm what I'm probably going to do is be like, cool, great. Here's 3 other people. I want you to interview all of them. And then I want you to come back to me with the pros and cons and the prices. And I want you to make a solid, informed choice. And the only reason we do that is because we've had people, um, James and I don't sell at our events, but we also get everybody really excited and hyped up about their future and their life. And then we've had people in the past that have come in around the back and then sell them these programs and these mindset things they don't need.
Mm,
So there's the vultures will circle, but we I really encourage there's times in your life where you need multiple mentors at once.
yeah,
There's times in your life where you need just one. And if you
yeah,
have just one, it needs to be private one-on-one coaching, right? And then they should be referring you to people for skill sets. And then the other thing is if, if there's times in your life where you need no one, like you actually have to figure it out on your own for 12 months,
mhm,
every 2 or 3 years. Now, I've had a coach or a mentor or been going through a program or I read a lot, so I don't always need somebody talking to me. I can absorb,
mhm,
and I always have 6 to 12 months off in between each person, right? And that's been really healthy for me. Um, and I think now I'm at a stage with my next mentor, I want someone that's gonna be 2 years. Like, I just wanna work with someone who goes through everything with me over the next 2 years.
mhm,
I'm seeing I don't think it's my psychologist at the moment. That's just healing hygiene and someone to share with that's outside my community, but I believe that there's different seasons and stages in your life, but like you said, if somebody's telling you that you can't, like, it's a why? Just
mm,
ask them why. It's like, "Oh," and they'll say, "Oh, it's so we can focus directly on the health on, like, on what we're doing." It's like, "Okay, so if I wanted to go see a health coach, I can't."
yeah,
You know? If there's a scarcity mindset behind things, and you're gonna get taught scarcity, and then you're gonna get more scarcity.
yeah, yeah, and I think it's really important who you listen to and who you do have coach, mentor you or, like, that's very important. That's one thing that I'm learning from, Kevin Trudeau with the book that I'm reading and his audios is it matters with who you listen to, what you're reading, what you're
All
you
of
know
it's really important.
mm,
Even this like even the signs that you're seeing and the conversations, like if I'm in coffee shops and I hear people having conversations that I don't feel like are going to serve my day, I'll move.
Yeah.
Like I'll just move table.
Mhm.
Like I just don't want to do that. It's the same with the lyrics in the song. And there's that's another thing that James and I really resonated on. You asked earlier about like why UE, why did we start, is we'd both worked and consulted for somebody who was like everything was a lock-in contract, no refund. And I played that game because it's the way I was taught how to do business.
Yeah.
My mentor goes, everyone's on 12-month contracts. And if they don't pay you, take them to court. like like debt collection. And I was like, oh, okay. So these people would be in these coaching containers with me. And I'm an over deliverer. Like I really want to make sure people get the result they want. So I'll give more than they need so they can take what they want, right, and still achieve. That's kind of the way that I've set my business up.
Yeah.
And somebody owed me a bill, and they owed money for coaching that we'd done. And the scenario wasn't that they still had a contract ongoing, because I've never held somebody to a contract ongoing, but they said they're not going to pay me for the last 2 months. And then I said, well, you have to. So they took me to QCAT for not paying me. Anyway, I went through this whole, it was bizarre. Like even the QCAT person was like, this doesn't make sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Beautiful person, by the way. It was just complete misunderstanding and misalignment of things. And we
Mm,
worked it out years later.
great.
But after that, I was like, I'm just never fucking doing that again. Like I don't want to go to QCAT ever again. They can
Mhm.
have the money. It's not that important to me. I'm never going to charge that much. So when we started UE, we went, well, what's this thing that we don't like? Like, let's talk about this. And we talked about it well before, like 6 months before. We talked about a lot of businesses in Australia are unregulated. There's only a certain few that are. Most people don't know that. It's an unregulated industry. There's ombudsmen, but there's not much they can do.
Yeah.
Coaching, consulting, and training, unless you're an RTO, is one of them. So we have no regulated, low regulatory body, and even the coaching associations are a nicety. They'll reach out to people who have done the wrong thing, and you don't have to respond. It's like a professional thing. So there's no regulation in the
Mm,
entire industry. That's why it's a bit wild,
yeah.
right? So we went, well, we want this thing of regulation. So how do we do it? You go, all right. Well, what happens if we if we if we if we regulate ourselves and we force long-term contracts? Then what normally happens is you when people want to churn, they can't, right? And then that creates laziness. So that creates as delivery people, it's like, well, we don't have to try as hard because we've got 30 people on MRR and they have to fucking pay us for 12 months. So we can take the pedal off the gas. And that's what happens in a lot of coaching and coaching containers. It's like once you're in, you
Yeah.
notice that the love and attention and the relationship building all gets pulled back. It's like, hey, jump on the calls, don't message me outside of hours. Here's the fucking admin email, all these kind of things. I'm not saying it's bad. It just is. Right. So how do we regulate ourselves? So James and I said we made a commitment. So, well, we're going to, every event, because we run our deal maker event, we run our leadership training event, we run our health and wealth event. Every event that we run is going to be 100% better than the last one. Right. So
Yeah.
what does that take? Money. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we do is every dollar we make, 10 cents goes into an account, into a siloed account. So that is called the event account. So every single dollar we make from any coaching, consulting, right, goes into there, and that
Yeah.
gets spent on the clients. In Cairns, in 2 months' time, we're going out on the Great Barrier Reef. We chartered the entire boat. We're all going out. We can buy everyone dinner. There's fruit in the rooms. We have amazing speakers come. So the events are just constantly getting better. And every time our clients that have been with us for years come, they're like, this is,
It's
except for when we
getting
went to,
better.
this is better than last time. It's like, yeah, we committed to you, except for Geelong, but that's a whole thing.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
run an event in Geelong. I'm not joking. I'm joking. It was fine. So that was the first thing we did, is like, okay, well, there's a little level of continuous improvement. We can regulate ourselves in our events by like being like, well, that's not our money. That belongs to the clients, and that belongs to the business, and they're paying for that experience. We
Mm,
could just hire a fucking conference room. We could, and it'd still get the same learning, but they
yeah.
wouldn't get the same experience. So
Yeah.
that's what we did first, and we were like, well, that makes sense. And then we go, well, we constantly have to be up leveling our skill sets, which James and I, that wasn't a problem with. And they go, well, how can we make that something that is a risk reversal. It's not their fucking problem. It's our problem.
Mhm.
There was no lock-in contracts. Cancel any time. You just have to give us a month's notice, and you can finish up if it doesn't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
Now, everyone who was our coaches and mentors at the time, you're crazy, it's not going to work, people are just going to leave, right? And sometimes we will have 4 or 5 people leave in a month from our container, right? But we've normally got a wait list of people waiting who sign back up and fill that. But because we have our silo buckets for our events, it's never, sometimes there's financial strain because when you play a bigger game, there's bigger fluctuations.
Yeah.
But most of the time we're fine. We're paying ourselves well, everything like that. So our regulation is if we're shit, people leave,
Well,
right?
it's as
And
simple as that, right?
simple as that. If we're not upgrading our skill set and upgrading our transmissions and showing up and giving extra love and attention and building the relationships and the fucking little phone calls that matter just as much to me as they do to them, we're not
Yeah.
doing all of that. Eventually, they're going to drift. And we don't want a bunch of clients. We only want, like I said, a
Yeah.
select amount of people. If we don't do that to those people, then they'll leave. And then we've set a price that we feel like is really affordable. Like
Mhm.
we'll go, the other thing we can do is we'll just make sure it's no more than ever 10% of their income, right? And to a point that it's capped. So if
Yeah.
you earn under a certain amount with us and we think you've got the goods, then we reduce the price to
Yeah.
match their income, right?
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
let lots of startups in because they don't suit. But every now and then you get that person you're like, it's all there.
Yeah. You can feel it, right? That's the thing. That's like getting to know the um the potential client, right? So then you know whether or not you can serve them or whether
Yeah.
putting
And that made us take our time with our sales process. Sales calls are normally 3 conversations. It's not a hard close,
yeah.
right? And then you get started, and then we send you an invoice, and it's like we just didn't want to live the life, and more importantly, the stress that those people had on their bodies around this money, and it's like, and I see these posts on social media about like, I don't want to be my client's fucking bank anymore. I'm like, excuse me, like, because they paid the money and then they're trying to get a refund. I'm like, sorry, like, where's the gratefulness and the gratitude? It's like, if you don't like these people, you shouldn't be taking their money in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree with
Just
that.
say no.
Yeah.
There's plenty of coaches out there. Send them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Get a fucking referral fee if the money is that important to you, but don't work with them.
Yeah.
That's an opinion, of course. So just to touch in on what you were saying, Haley, it's like it's an unregulated industry.
Mm.
So if you just have to do it yourself. Now, in doing that and creating that process, and then us having to show up for it, our retention rate is out of control. 2 or 3 years, people
Mhm.
will stay with us for, because the events are always getting better. We're always learning. We're always bringing in experts, and we're always giving extra care and attention. One, because we want them to get results, but two, because we also don't want to lose the income. So we're
Yeah.
both working towards it. Then all they have to do is show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's coming from your heart. Like you can feel that with both of you. It's not you're not it's not it's not just to get money with you guys. It's actually you can feel the
Oh,
relationship and the love and the
we'd be
connection that you do
we'd be
have.
we'd be way richer. We
Yeah,
would we just I'd be so unhappy.
yeah, that's not
Be
you. That's not your standard. That's not your values.
to be
And
to be actually fair, we wouldn't be, because I would just shut the fucking thing down. I wouldn't be able to show up and look at people in the eye. Like, I couldn't do it.
yeah,
I
the integrity behind it, right?
No, and then, like I said, with that, when I implemented the program and there was that thing with QCAT and there's people that were paying and they weren't showing, and I was holding this energy in me and I was like, it's like, oh, like the
Yeah.
only way to explain it is like, oh, like, why am I frustrating at something? And it's because it's like, it just wasn't, it's not right.
Mhm.
If I was to regulate the industry, those things that we implemented, I'd just make those the norm.
Yeah,
I'd lock in
beautiful.
contracts and paying fools and all that. I'd just be like, no, you're not allowed to.
Yeah. I The sound of the Cairns retreat, by the way, it's in Cairns, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. That's in a couple of months, you said?
September.
September? Yeah, so a couple of months. And
Yeah.
I like that you James said that people can come on one of a call, like a Thursday night call to
Totally, yeah.
like, to see
Yeah,
what it's all about, to open them up to what they would experience from you guys in
for
one of
sure, yeah. We've we've got it as long as you're a fit, which is be I have James or I have a phone call with you and y there's certain startups that have got momentum and they've got a product that we can help them with and things like that. And we just say, "Come and check out one of our workshops with our private clients," and
Oh,
sometimes there's 15 people on there and sometimes there's 3 because all our clients are actually busy.
in their life.
The well, the things that we do with them work, so there'll be periods of time where they can't make it to the calls where they all watch the recordings and ask questions, but you jump on those calls with us and we treat you exactly like you're a private client. So there's no it's like a peek behind the veil. There's no secrets. You come in, you check it out, you do a workshop,
Yeah, because
and we
I think it's really important for the client to actually, like, get to know you and feel what they feel for themselves. Like, it's great that you get to see what the potential client is like if there's a vibe, but the clients get to do that for themselves as well, you know? Like, they can come and meet you, and it might not sit right for them, and they might say, "Hey, thank you, but no thank you," as well. You know,
yeah, and
it's not
and
just
that
up to the
that
coach.
that happens and it's always the right thing, and it only ever feels bad when when they didn't get the transmission, like, if they didn't actually show up or that's when I'm like, "Oh, you" there's this feeling of loss for me with sales and bringing somebody in the community when I'm like, "Oh, actually, you're gonna love this, it's gonna be so good for you." But when
Mhm.
somebody's like, "Hey, look, I've checked it out," and it's just like, "I want something that's this or that," I'm like, "Cool. I know heaps of people. Like, I can help you find that, and I will do that."
Yeah.
Um, but it's like not being able to have a look behind the veil. Oh god, I've bought some terrible coaching programs right from that experience. You get in and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. But
And
then
then you
it
start
like
asking
you still learn from that, you know?
well, I'm a researcher, so I just go, "Where's the knowledge base?" And I'll just go download the whole thing into my brain, and then I'll learn it, and I'll never forget it. So the
Yeah.
curse and thing of a good memory, it's like I'll just take everything I need from it. But sometimes when I buy a community and I don't get delivered on that, that's when it hurts a bit. Because I've spent 50 grand on coaching containers and I've got in and they've had like the IT guy running it from their like some guy who's not even a business owner teaching me marketing and Facebook meta ads. And I was in there and I was like, hey, nah. They're like, oh, there's another program you can upgrade. I'm like, no, that's the program you sold me and I'm going to be in that for what I pay. And they put me in there, but sometimes you got to ask.
Yeah.
Um,
Always
but yeah,
ask one. We know that, right?
yeah, we always let people come and have a call, and if you're interested, and reach out to Haley, and she'll put us in touch, and come jump
Mm.
on a Thursday call, and then we normally have a phone call with myself, like which will be a phone call, and I'm probably going to ask you 30 seconds about your business and more about who you are because that's more important to what we're developing. And then you'll have a chat with James or, afterwards for another 30, 40 minutes and he'll get to know you a bit and then you have a conversation with all of us. And then normally you come along to an event and check us out and experience an event, which is, ticket prices are 5,200. They're not out of control and you get a cool transmission there. And if you really suit the community, then from there, then we go, all right, let's lock in and do some work together.
Yeah. I love that. I love that that's how it is. It's not just like one call, bang, let's sign a contract.
No, that works. It's just not for us. So it's not
Yeah.
our, yeah,
Yeah. And I love that. I love that because that's where you're building the relationship. So
yeah.
amazing. Ultimate entrepreneurs. That's the social handle. UE
Yeah,
training.
UE training 1 underscore. I am not great in Instagram, so there is another UE training 2 2 underscores that I accidentally created when I was trying to log into the old one. Just
There
ignore
are
it.
one at the end of it.
Hey.
There are one at the end of it.
No, underscore. This one's just an
Ah,
underscore, yeah. So,
oh,
yeah, find us there, send us a message. The team's in the chat. Our beautiful social media manager, Carmela's in there. Yeah, and honestly, just reach out or, you know, send Haley a message on Facebook or whatever, and just send her your email, and we'll log you in for the email. We're happy to jump on the phone and have a chat and plan things out and support you in any way. And there's the other thing is we've got a wide network of people that we've vetted, and we care about them and their businesses, but we also know that they'll do the right thing. And if you need financial advisors or wealth creators or accountants, or I'm connected to one of the best health coaches in the country for gut health and health and wellness and fitness. And if you need
Mm.
anything, contract lawyers, solicitors, a lot, we can put you in touch with any one of our people. And there's no most of them, some of those have referrals, but most of them don't for the professional services. We're just happy to put people in the right direction to get what they need to succeed. And those things are a little bit scary and daunting. So we've done all the hard work there. So if you need anything, also just reach out.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And I love that you can then help that business as well by, sharing them because you obviously help
No.
so many. And yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I love sharing what other people are doing because we all
Yeah.
get to like support each other, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the relationship in the network is that's the UE thing. That's our mission. And the network isn't just our clients. It's people that are running amazing businesses and just doing the right thing by people.
Mm.
If you get a bad accountant, it's like, um, yeah. Anyway, we go. That's another.
That's
We'll be
another rabbit
yeah.
hole we could go.
Next time. Next time, professional services. We can talk about that one.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and sharing all of your adventures and your journeys and the life that you've lived so far. How exciting. I'm excited to see what comes for the future. I can't wait to see the footage of the retreat. That is going to be so fun. So
Yeah.
thank you, Tyler, for being
Thanks,
here.
Haley. It's a pleasure, and thank you for inviting me to your world and trusting me to share some of my story, some of the wisdom, maybe some of it not, with your community. And yeah, I'm really grateful and looking forward to uh, more times in the future, and definitely building a friendship with yourself.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I have no doubts at all that they got something from you today, a world of wisdom. So thanks, everyone, and we will see you on the next.